Hey guys, welcome back to A Page in the Chapter, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Paige and today we're talking through my July TBR. It feels very strange to be here talking about my July TBR because I spent most of June going, oh, I need to upload a June TBR. I need to do a May wrap up and a June TBR, and I just kind of kept thinking that, and now I've missed my chance. And we're in July and it's creeping me out how quickly this year is going, I can't lie to you. But I have 4 books that are going to be on my TBR for the month of July. I am kind of taking it easy on myself. If I read more, great. If I read less, that's fine. If I don't read the books on this list and I buy new books that I want to read, also fine. I find it very helpful to have like a guideline for myself, otherwise I'll finish a book and just not pick one up for days because I don't know what I want to read. So by doing it this way, it's just better. If you guys like TBRs and wrap-ups, then do feel free to hit that big red subscribe button down below to stay tuned for future content. I tend to upload both of these types of videos once a month, and I upload other booktube content twice a week on a Wednesday and a Friday. You guys can also check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Page and Chapter to see more of what I'm reading and reviewing at the time that I'm reading and reviewing it, so you don't have to wait monthly for these types of videos. And I have specially curated playlists on my channel for you guys to find the TBRs, the wrap-ups, the classic booktube content, the reading vlogs, the reading challenges. It's all organised and ready there for you, linked on my channel, so you guys can go and find and watch the content that you are specifically looking to watch. Let's get into the books that I want to read in July. So the very first book that I would like to read in the month of July, I have already started. I started it this morning. I've kind of vlogged the experience of starting it a little bit, which you'll see next week, and obviously I won't be finishing this book today, and thus we'll be finishing it in July. And so this first book is The Merciless Ones by Namina Fauna. I really loved the first book in this series, The Gilded Ones. It's like a very feminist critique of society, and it follows a very patriarchal society where girls have to go to a reaping when they reach a certain age, and at this reaping their wrist is cut, and if they bleed red then they are deemed like pliable enough to go and be good members of society, but if they bleed gold then no one actually knows what happens to them, and naturally of course our main character does bleed gold. I just had fun with the first book in a way that like YA fantasy hasn't been hitting the mark for me for a really long time, so I pre-ordered this second book a long time ago. It arrived during, honestly, it could have been April. This one's been on my shelves for a little while. I'm feeling so down in the dumps about what is just going on at the moment with Roe v. Wade, and just everywhere just seems to be taking a step backwards. It can't even be specifically America, like the UK is becoming much more conservative and nationalist as well, and it's very scary. And so there are 2 ways that I plan on dealing with those feelings. I plan on escaping into happily ever after romances, and I plan on reading about badass women who take down the patriarchy. So if you are looking for a book to feel very strong in your femininity, then The Gilded Ones and The Merciless Ones is very much the book to do that, and that is why I've decided to pick this up and go for it, because I just really feel like I need it right now. And then the next book on my TBR is Take Me Home Tonight by Morgan Matson. This is her latest book. I am a very big Morgan Matson fan. I'm hoping we have another little spell of sunny weather so I can read this in really like sunny weather while sunbathing, but you never know with England. We could have already have had our summer heat wave and maybe we just won't get any more again. Who knows with this country? So I'm adding it onto my TBR because I don't want to risk missing my chance with this book. So this follows our main characters Kat and Stevie, and they are best friends and they plan this absolutely epic night out in New York City, but when they lose each other in the city everything starts to go wrong, and it's a bit of an adventure of trying to find each other again. Knowing Morgan Matson, I'm sure a lot of things about their friendship and their family lives are going to come to light. I've never really gravitated towards this book before. It's been my least anticipated one of her books, but it feels feels like it has the same kind of essence as Since You've Been Gone, and I loved that book, so hopefully this one will hit the mark as well. Then we have The Inverts by Crystal Jeans. I picked this one up in my most recent book haul, if you may have seen. This follows Bettina and Bart in 1921, and they are both gay, but society at this time was not very understanding of that, did not even allow for that to happen, and so they enter into a lavender marriage with each other, which is essentially a marriage of convenience, so that they can both hide the fact that they are gay and hopefully still explore their interests on the side. And then this blurb ends out with, "But the delights of the roaring 20s make some secrets hard to keep, and before long, cigarettes, champagne and sex turn to scandal, betrayal and murder." And it just sounds so 1920s. Like, I don't know, it sounds amazing. I am really, really excited to get to this book. If I hadn't bought it right at the end of the month, then I could have read this in June, in the month of Pride, but you know, Pride shouldn't really only be for 1 month, so I think it's more than okay if I read this in July. I stare at it, and the more I think about it, the more I really, really want to read this book. And then the next book that I have on my TBR is, it's gonna be a fun one, but it's also not really a fun one, and it's just really time that I get around to this book and I start kicking myself into gear, and that is Written in Bone by Sue Black, Hidden Stories and What We Leave Behind. So Sue Black is a very prominent forensic anthropologist in the UK, and she has now started writing books. I read her first book, All That Remains, and my biggest complaint about that book was that it was too much, in my personal opinion, about Sue Black's life and not enough about her work. Obviously it's a memoir, so it was kind of supposed to be about her life, but I was reading it for the forensic anthropology and I didn't feel like I got that. And then her second book, this book, is entirely about forensic anthropology. The book is even split into chapters based on parts of the skeleton. Like, you have part 1, the cranial bones, part 2, the postcranial bones, part 3, the limbs. Like, it's kind of all split up into the same structure that I was taught forensic anthropology in my undergrad, and I will be starting a forensic anthropology master's in September, so alongside also going over my notes from undergrad, I think kicking myself into gear and finally getting this book off my TBR is just going to be a good thing. I was holding off reading it so that I could read it close to going back to uni, but I now only have July, August and the first part of September to get this read, and I don't trust my ability to read books in a normal time frame anymore. So I'm gonna put this on my July TBR and really hope for the best with this, because I really need to read it before I go back. I cannot be the idiot there who doesn't know a single bone. And then this final book that I have to share with you is another book that I'm really hoping will fit into that category of strong women being really badass and making me feel a little bit better about what women can accomplish coming forward, and that is Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groudon. Could go either way really, because this is an alternative history retelling, fantastical type of story in which the Nazis won the war and our main character Yael has been training and is aiming to go and take down Hitler, and I'm assuming that there is some kind of werewolf plotline too, but really I'm just kind of focusing on the strong female element. This has been on my wish list for a very, very, very long time. Lily from Literary Lily was kind enough to gift me this book for my birthday, so I really want to read it whilst I am kind of in the mood for it, as much as I have been in the mood for fantasy lately. Yeah, I do think this will be a fairly quick read. It's like quite floppy, which brings me great happiness, and yeah, I'm just actually quite excited about this one. So if anyone has any recommendations for me when I'm feeling the way that I'm currently feeling, that would be amazing. And so here we have the 5 books that I'm hoping to get read in the month of July. This is a very short and sweet book haul, just because I have no idea really how much I'm going to read. I've been feeling very slumpy and just distracted lately. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you think. I would genuinely love to hear your thoughts and advice before going into these books, and any recommendations you have for me to make me feel a little bit better about the fact that the world is just taking a giant step back in time. Like, This face was not designed to live in the 1800s. I'd rather we didn't go there again, thank you very much. If you guys have enjoyed this TBR and you would like to see more from me, then again, do feel free to hit that big red subscribe button down below to stay tuned for future content. I upload twice a week on a Wednesday and a Friday, so there is no shortage of bookish content here for you to enjoy. You can also check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Page and Chapter, again, to see what I'm reading as I'm reading it, how I'm reviewing it in real time, books I'm buying, thoughts that I'm thinking, pictures of my dogs. It's just all going on over on Instagram and Twitter. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. You're enjoying everything that you are reading and there are no reading slumps in your future. And I will see you on Wednesday for my next video. Bye guys.